As we are almost to Thanksgiving, the New York Times raised a really interesting question that I hadn't thought about before, and it's this. Is Donald Trump on Ozempic or some other GLP-1 weight loss drug? So let me read the relevant passage and then let's talk about it. There's a big story that the Times published on Tuesday night, basically saying that Trump is showing his age a bit, that compared to 2017, his first term as president, his a number of public events are down 39%, that he fell asleep at a recent event in the Oval Office, that his schedule really only has him doing events between 12 and 5, et cetera, et cetera. It's worth reading, and I'll link to it. But I want to pull out two paragraphs in there about halfway through, which I did not think of, but I think it's worth noting. In 2020, Mr. Trump tipped the scales at 244 pounds, a weight formerly deemed obese for his 6'3" frame. This year, Mr. Trump's physician, Dr. Sean P. Barbarella, said in a summary of the president's health that he weighed 224 pounds. The story goes on. Mr. Trump frequently muses about the effectiveness of weight loss drugs like Ozempic. He refers to them as the fat drug and talks about people he knows who have taken the medications, but his physician has not said if he takes one of the drugs himself. This is fascinating because it is odd that a 79-year-old man now would just suddenly lose 20 pounds, right? Especially given the fact that most people who lose 20 pounds these days are on some kind of weight loss drug, whether it's Ozempic or Wegovy or Zepbound. Now, Trump has obviously drawn a lot of attention to these weight loss drugs. Earlier this month, he held a big press conference with some of the major executives at Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly who make these drugs, and announced that in early 2026 on TrumpRX, which is going to be a website he launches, these drugs are going, which are quite expensive, are going to be available for cheaper. But no one has really dug into is Donald Trump on these drugs? And again, we know so little about his medical history and his medical present. I continue to note that he had an MRI this fall. We don't know why. We don't know where it was on, like what part of his body. We don't know what it found. And yet here we are. So we don't know a lot about what he takes, what he doesn't take, but it is interesting because he has talked a lot about this. So in September, Donald Trump was speaking in the Oval Office with RFK Jr., and he kind of mused about what he calls the fat pill, which he was referring to as Ozempic. And he seemed skeptical. He said, quote, "Sometimes it works on people. The ones I've seen it hasn't worked so well. They say to me, I've lost some weight. I say, you don't look it to me." He's talking about his friends there. So there's that. Now, earlier this month at a White House cabinet meeting, Trump basically went around and said hey, do you take it? Hey, do you take it? He asked Howard Lutnick, his Secretary of Commerce, who said, no, I don't take it yet. And then Trump said, Steve, he's on it. And he was, we think, referring to Stephen Chung, one of his longtime communications aides, which is odd. But so he did that. Now, how is Trump lost weight? There's no question, right? He has lost weight, 244 to 224. And this is the, now, again, it's the White House physician. I know people are skeptical sometimes of that, particularly given what we know about Joe Biden. But let's just take it at their word. He does look thinner, right? So if he weighed 244 in 2020, 224 in 2025. It doesn't appear that there's a little bit of what I would call very shady reporting that Donald Trump is on some sort of new diet, but no serious organization has reported on that. So it doesn't appear as though he's changed his diet. He still likes fast food. He still doesn't exercise all that much, if at all. I mean, I guess playing golf. And so there's a little bit in the ether of what goes on with Trump and food. So Sean Hannity said earlier this year, March, he was asked about Trump, and he was doing an interview with RFK Jr. And Hannity said Trump, quote, looks great. And the secret, Hannity, Fox News personality, said is, quote, if he has a burger now, he usually doesn't have it with a bun. I mean, I don't think like just eating burgers without buns is going to get you at 79 years old when your metabolism is slowing, is going to get you there, right? Trump did an interview in January 2024 with Fox News' Brian Kilmeade, and he told Kilmeade at that time, so this is, January 2024, so 18 months ago, that he had lost 20 pounds, claiming it came, quote, the hard way. I work, end quote. Then he added this: I have been so busy. I haven't been able to eat very much. I'm not able to sit down and eat like a person like you. You can sit down and eat. Me, it's a little bit tougher. Okay, so look, I don't know if Donald Trump is on a GLP-1, if Donald Trump is on Ozempic or Wegovy or Zepbound or whatever, but it is at least worth asking the question because we know Donald Trump has not really changed his habits. Again, Sean Hannity says now when he eats burgers, he takes the bun off, but like he's still eating a lot of burgers. He still loves fast food. He still doesn't really exercise besides riding around on a golf cart, right? Like and getting out, hitting a ball, and then getting back in the golf cart on the golf course. So it is a little odd that a man of his age, late 70s, would lose 20 or more pounds, right? And again, Trump has been skeptical about the effects of these things, basically saying that his friends who are fat say they've lost weight, but he doesn't see it. But he's clearly aware of this stuff, right? I mean, he is working to lower the costs on it. And I do think it's kind of an interesting question that I had never thought of before. So many people who have money, especially, and Donald Trump certainly qualifies there, are on these GLP-1 drugs. The price is still very high, so it remains, unless you can qualify through your insurance, which most people can't, it remains something that I think just the wealthy are using. But Donald Trump fits that category, and he fits the category, at least in 2020, of being obese. And he is someone who we know is kind of vain and focused on his appearance. So I think it's a fascinating question. I had never thought of it. Shout out to the New York Times for at least noting that weight loss and raising the question that we don't know if he takes. I mean, we don't know that he does, but we also don't know that he doesn't. So fascinating to me as we go into the holidays, into eating season, particularly Thanksgiving. Is Donald Trump on some weight loss drug, or is this miraculous 20 pound weight loss over the last few years for a man in his late 70s just because he stopped eating buns on his burgers and he doesn't have time to sit down all that much? Anyway, hope everybody has a good holiday. Eat whatever is comfortable for you to eat. Do me one favor before we hit Thanksgiving, which is hit that subscribe button. You get free content like this every day. I continue to grow as an independent news creator. It's a win-win, like putting cranberry sauce on your turkey. All right, everyone, take care.